Have you ever felt so angry you lost control when someone hurt you? Do moments exist when even a simple glance or casual comment feels like a personal attack? In today's high-pressure world, we're easily swept into emotional storms, from minor irritations to overwhelming rage. But what if you could remain unshaken? What if no one could disturb your peace? Is a calm, untroubled life actually possible? Stoicism, an ancient yet remarkably relevant philosophy, offers profound answers to these questions. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca endured tremendous hardships, yet maintained remarkable tranquility through this timeless wisdom. Today, I'll share 7 powerful methods to master your emotions and take complete control of your inner world. What follows isn't abstract theory. These are practical insights distilled from Stoic wisdom into actionable techniques. Pay close attention. Don't miss a single section, because applying even one method can immediately transform your life. Let's begin. Number 1. Embrace willingness in life. A fundamental Stoic principle for achieving inner peace is wholeheartedly accepting whatever comes your way. This doesn't mean you must enjoy every situation, but rather face circumstances willingly, without resistance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This acceptance breaks the cycle of anger and frustration. Imagine washing dishes. If you approach the task reluctantly, each plate becomes an internal struggle. But when you approach it willingly, with gratitude, even this mundane burden dissolves. Epictetus reminds us, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well." This is willingness personified, flowing with life rather than fighting against it. Apply this mindset to unpleasant situations. When stuck in traffic, you could fume over delays, letting frustration build. Or you could see it as an opportunity to enjoy a podcast or reflect on your day. Your perspective makes all the difference. When we accept situations willingly, stress loses its grip on us. Part of this willingness involves defining a broader purpose. Ask yourself, what vision am I creating? What kind of life do I truly want? Unlike trivial goals of more money or possessions, a vision encompasses your entire existence. Living with such purpose makes every action voluntary because you understand that everything, good or bad, contributes to your journey. By embracing life's flow instead of resisting it, you discover profound freedom. Consider volunteering. When forced to meet a deadline, tasks feel heavy and tedious. But when helping a friend willingly, the same effort feels fulfilling, even without material reward. The difference lies in your attitude. "I choose to do this" becomes your heaven, while "I have to do this" becomes your hell. When someone says something offensive, you face a choice. Let it dictate your emotions and react angrily, or view it as an opportunity to practice willingness. Tell yourself, "This person acts according to their nature, but I choose not to let it disturb mine." Accepting life as it unfolds doesn't mean abandoning self-improvement. Rather, it means recognizing what's beyond your control. This mindset not only relieves pressure, but empowers you to focus on what you can change. Embracing willingness is a journey, not an overnight transformation. Start small, accept your mistakes, view challenges as lessons, approach inconveniences with grace. Master this mindset, and you'll become less vulnerable to anger while discovering resilient inner strength to live life on your terms. Number 2, stop judging others. Have you wondered why we so easily feel irritated by others? Could it be because we constantly judge them? Consider how often you think, "This person is so annoying," or "That one is completely untrustworthy." These judgments not only harm others, but more importantly, burden our own souls. In Stoicism, releasing judgment frees us from negative emotions like anger and frustration. Humans naturally view the world through personal lenses. When someone acts contrary to our expectations, we immediately label them. If someone drives slowly ahead of you, your first thought might be, they're so incompetent. But have you considered they might be a new driver, or perhaps driving carefully with children aboard? External events don't determine our emotions. Our interpretations do. Judging others places unnecessary emotional weight on our shoulders. Judgment isn't just a thought, it's the root of anger. Imagine a colleague who's chronically late. If you label them lazy or irresponsible, your irritation grows daily. However, if you consider they might be caring for a sick relative or facing personal challenges, your perspective softens. This doesn't mean condoning their behavior. By dropping judgment, you shield yourself from unnecessary negativity. Stoicism teaches us to see problems clearly, not ignore them. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control." No one is entirely good or bad. People are complex mixtures shaped by their circumstances. Think about times when you didn't act your best. Perhaps you were tired, stressed, or having a difficult day. Similarly, others' actions rarely reflect fixed traits. In supportive environments, even deeply flawed individuals show kindness, while under pressure, anyone might falter. Picture yourself at a restaurant where a server accidentally spills water. Your initial reaction might be anger. They're so careless. But pausing to think, maybe they're having a really tough day, makes you feel lighter. This is the power of releasing judgment. It frees you from discomfort while fostering deeper empathy. Letting go of judgment doesn't mean condoning wrongdoing. It means refusing to let others' actions dictate your emotions. You can still discern right from wrong without letting negativity consume you. Marcus Aurelius also said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." The wisest response to harm isn't anger, but maintaining your composure and dignity. How can we practice non-judgment? First, awareness. When you catch yourself judging someone, ask, "Is this thought necessary? Does it benefit me?" Then shift perspective. Put yourself in their shoes. What might they be experiencing that you don't know? Finally, remember that our differences enrich life. Someone being unlike you doesn't mean they're wrong, nor is it worth your emotional energy. Letting go of judgment means releasing emotional burdens. Next time someone irritates you, pause, breathe deeply, and ask, "Is this feeling worth it?" With empathy and understanding, you'll be kinder not only to others, but also to yourself. Ultimately, ask yourself, do you want to hold on to anger or live with freedom and peace? The choice is always yours. Number 3, let go of control. When you stop judging others, you discover a profound truth. Much of our frustration stems from expecting others to behave according to our wishes. Yet people, with all their complexities, act for their own reasons, often beyond our understanding. This leads us to a crucial question. Do we need to control everything to find peace? Or does peace come from letting go? Stoicism's essence isn't wasting energy trying to change the uncontrollable. It's accepting what you cannot change and freeing yourself from unnecessary burdens. While you cannot dictate life's circumstances, you can always choose how to respond. Imagine driving during rush hour. Traffic jammed, horns blaring, deadline approaching. Anger rises as you think, why do people drive like this? Why can't traffic improve? The reality is, you can't change others' driving habits or magically clear roads. The only thing within your control is your reaction. You can choose frustration or take a deep breath and accept what you cannot change. This principle transforms every aspect of life. A mother may worry constantly about her child's grades, but she cannot take their tests. An employee might be frustrated by unreasonable decisions, yet cannot control their manager's thinking. Negative emotions often arise from placing expectations on things beyond our influence. When reality falls short, disappointment follows. I once knew a passionate entrepreneur who spent years building a tech company. When his product launched to disappointing market feedback, he blamed customers for not understanding its value and suspected competitors of sabotage. These toxic emotions trapped him in bitterness. During a conversation, I suggested focusing on what he could improve instead of fixating on factors beyond his control. This shift opened new perspectives. He stopped blaming others, refined his product, adjusted strategy, and embraced patience. By releasing what was beyond his influence, he felt lighter, more creative, and eventually achieved greater success than expected. Stoicism reshapes how we view challenges and encourages us to ask during stressful moments, is this within my control? Am I wasting energy on the unchangeable? Is my reaction improving the situation? These simple questions powerfully free you from negativity. Letting go doesn't mean surrendering or passivity. It means focusing on what you truly influence, your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Picture rowing downstream. You cannot stop the current, but you can skillfully navigate its flow. A practical Stoic exercise is premeditatio malorum, anticipating adversity. Before starting your day, imagine what might go wrong. Plans cancelled, colleagues making mistakes, bad weather. Preparing mentally makes these situations easier to accept when they occur. Ultimately, letting go isn't weakness, but powerful liberation. When you stop clinging to what's beyond your grasp, you'll experience extraordinary peace. Start small. Don't try to change others' opinions, dwell on the past, or hold on to the unattainable. Life flows like a river, and when you learn to move with its current, you'll find the tranquility you've been seeking. Number 4. Embrace imperfection in the world. None of us can avoid moments of frustration when others don't behave as expected. But have you asked yourself, why do we demand perfection from the world and people around us? Stoicism teaches that this expectation of perfection is an illusion, and this illusion roots much suffering. Understanding that imperfection is the world's essence helps free you from negative emotions caused by others. Think about this. Have you felt disappointed when a colleague performed inadequately, affecting your work? Or upset when a friend broke a promise or a family member said something hurtful? Such situations are common, but is it realistic to expect flawlessness from everyone? Epictetus reminds us, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. Anger and frustration don't stem from others' actions, but from our interpretations. The chaotic, imperfect world doesn't need to change. Our perception does. Consider this example. You meticulously prepare for an important presentation, but at the last minute, a colleague makes mistakes with supporting materials, seemingly undermining your effort. Frustration feels natural. Why were they so careless when I tried so hard? But viewed through Stoicism, you'll see their mistake is beyond your control. Anger only worsens the situation. Instead of blaming them, ask, what can I do now to salvage this? By accepting imperfection, you remain calm and find solutions more effectively. Marcus Aurelius wrote, begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. Starting your day acknowledging imperfection prepares you for challenges with resilience. This isn't pessimism, but realism, allowing steady navigation through difficulties. In everyday moments, embracing imperfection transforms reactions. When someone breaks a promise, remind yourself they're human with unseen struggles. If misunderstood, stay calm and seek clarity rather than jumping to conclusions. When facing criticism, ask, does this truly harm me, or is my interpretation causing pain? Accepting imperfection doesn't mean abandoning improvement. It liberates you. When you stop demanding others act as you wish, you free yourself from disappointment and focus on what matters. In relationships, we often expect partners to understand us perfectly. The truth is, even those who love you most can't always read your emotions. Instead of blame, ask, can I communicate more clearly to foster understanding? This approach alleviates dissatisfaction while building empathy. When you truly accept the world's imperfections, you'll find joy in its flaws. A careless co-worker, inconsiderate friend, or rude stranger becomes an opportunity to practice patience and compassion. Ask yourself, haven't I made mistakes? If I want forgiveness, why can't I forgive others? As Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Courage to face imperfection isn't just compassion, it's a path to inner freedom. Life doesn't need perfection for you to find happiness. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Let this wisdom guide you to discover peace amid chaos, not by compromising with imperfection, but by mastering the art of living. Number 5. Take responsibility for your feelings. When we learn to accept the world's imperfections, a new door opens, leading inward to our inner selves. The world may be chaotic, people may disappoint, things rarely go as planned, but must these realities disturb us? Accepting external imperfections is one thing, but the deeper challenge lies in controlling our emotions, facing what we cannot change. This raises a fundamental question. Who's responsible for your emotions? You or circumstances beyond your control? Imagine standing in a long supermarket line on a busy weekend. Suddenly, someone cuts in front without acknowledging you. Irritation rises instantly. You feel disrespected. You could voice anger, grumble under your breath, or carry resentment throughout your day. But there's another choice. Pause and ask, is this person's action truly worth sacrificing my peace? They may be wrong, but my emotions are mine. Why let them dictate how I feel? Choose calmness, and something remarkable happens. Irritation fades. The person remains oblivious to their rudeness, but their actions no longer control you. The line might be slightly longer, but your inner peace remains intact. That trivial incident becomes just another moment in your day, not the spark for cascading negative emotions. When you reclaim emotional control, life becomes lighter. We often unknowingly surrender our emotional states to others. When someone insults or ignores you, the instinctive response is hurt or anger. But ask yourself, why let another person's words dictate your mood? Marcus Aurelius observed, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." While we cannot control others, we always choose our reactions. Consider being unfairly criticized at work. Anger may seem inevitable, but what if you reminded yourself that your worth isn't determined by others' opinions? By reframing your reaction, you free yourself from their emotional influence. How do we achieve this mastery? Start by practicing the power of pause. When facing upsetting situations, ask, am I overreacting? Is this worth losing my peace? A brief pause creates space between trigger and response, allowing you to choose calm over chaos. Another effective method is journaling your emotions, a practice rooted in Stoicism. Each evening reflect. What upset you today? How did you react? Could you have responded differently? Over time, this habit helps identify emotional patterns and builds self-discipline. Taking responsibility for your emotions is key to tranquility. No one can make you angry unless you permit it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." His wisdom reminds us that emotions belong to us, not others. Protect your peace, and nothing can truly disturb your spirit. Number 6. Practice non-reaction. In life, unexpected moments catch us off guard. A colleague criticizes you during a meeting, a stranger cuts in line while you've waited patiently, or someone makes a sharp, offensive remark. These small incidents, though seemingly trivial, can disrupt your mood, stirring anger and frustration. Is there a way to overcome these negative emotions and maintain composure when faced with others' actions? The answer lies in mastering non-reaction. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Reflecting on this truth reveals that your emotions stem not from others' actions, but from your interpretations. Imagine being publicly criticized in a meeting. Your initial reaction might be irritation or embarrassment at being called out before colleagues. You may feel compelled to defend yourself or retaliate to restore dignity. But pause for a moment. Instead of reacting immediately, ask, why should I let these words dictate how I feel? That colleague's hasty behavior doesn't define your worth or abilities. It merely reflects their state of mind. By choosing not to react, you safeguard your calm and maintain professionalism. Consider an alternative approach. Respond with composure, perhaps by smiling and saying, "Thank you for your feedback. I'll address that after presenting my ideas." That single moment of calm grants you control over the situation. The colleague, rather than meeting hostility, is disarmed by your poise, and you leave the meeting with confidence and peace. Seneca wisely advised, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." One of the best ways to master non-reaction is giving yourself space when insulted. Resist the urge to respond immediately. Instead, take a deep breath and reflect. If a colleague sends a critical email, delay your response by an hour or even a day. This allows approaching the matter with clarity and responding thoughtfully rather than emotionally. Sometimes silence is the most powerful response. Choosing not to retaliate protects your peace and prevents others from controlling your emotions. As the saying goes, if a donkey kicks you and you kick back, you are both donkeys. This parable reminds us that reacting to negativity with negativity only lowers us to the same level. Silence doesn't signify weakness. It reflects inner strength, the power to rise above immediate retaliation. Picture a heated argument where every word fuels anger's fire. If one side suddenly stops engaging, the flames inevitably die down. The one choosing silence emerges as the true victor, having mastered their emotions and preserved inner peace. Reflect for a moment. When did you last lose your temper over something trivial? Was that anger worth sacrificing your tranquility? If you could return to that moment, how would you respond differently? These questions encourage introspection and self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius noted, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Recognizing that you control your reactions empowers you to navigate life with greater ease. Non-reaction doesn't mean passively accepting everything. It means discerning what truly deserves your attention and energy. By practicing non-reaction, you not only master emotions but safeguard inner peace. Remind yourself daily, while you cannot control others' actions, you always control your response. Calmness, silence, and an unshaken heart become your greatest weapons in this chaotic world. This is Stoicism's essence. Number 7. Find joy in selflessness. When we learn to remain calm and avoid hasty reactions to life's events, our soul gradually lightens. Things that once angered or disturbed us become mere ripples in life's flow. When our hearts are no longer crowded with resentment or frustration, new space emerges, room to love, empathize, and give. In this transformation, we discover profound joy, the joy of understanding that sometimes the best way to protect our peace is to forgive. This journey is one where the mind finds tranquility and the heart opens wider than ever before. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." These words gently remind us of life's blessings. Each morning offers a new chance to love, help others, and live with a more open heart than yesterday. Forgiveness, through Marcus Aurelius's lens, isn't distant or difficult. It's recognizing that helping others brings joy, not just to them, but to ourselves. I recall a friend who worked in a high-pressure environment, frequently criticized, sometimes unfairly, by colleagues. Instead of reacting angrily, he chose to listen and ask himself, "Are they going through something I don't know about?" One day, he discovered a particularly critical colleague faced significant financial struggles. This understanding completely changed his perspective. Rather than retaliating, he remained patient, listened, and offered help when possible. The result? Not only did their relationship improve, but the entire workplace atmosphere became less tense. In families, minor disagreements easily escalate into major conflicts. Imagine having a relative who constantly criticizes you regardless of your actions. Their words may hurt deeply, but remember, their criticism often stems from their own insecurities or pain, not from you. Understanding this, anger loses its power. Choosing forgiveness doesn't mean accepting wrong behavior. It means refusing to let it control your emotions. Anger often arises from expectations. We expect others to behave correctly, but the world is imperfect, and everyone carries unseen burdens. Recognizing this dissolves expectations, and when expectations fade, anger has no reason to exist. Forgiveness not only helps overcome anger, but brings genuine joy and relief. Recall helping someone without expecting anything in return. How did it feel? Likely peaceful and deeply meaningful. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Practicing forgiveness isn't just about giving. It's about reclaiming control over our emotions, achieving spiritual freedom that no material wealth can buy. Modern research supports this ancient wisdom. People regularly practicing kindness and selflessness report higher happiness levels. Stoicism understood this truth millennia ago. Forgiveness isn't just moral virtue, but a path to fuller, more meaningful life. Ask yourself, can I see this situation from their perspective? What might drive their behavior? These questions ease discomfort and foster understanding. When did you last help someone expecting nothing in return? How did it make you feel? Reflecting on these moments guides you toward daily forgiveness. Forgiveness need not be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as being patient with carelessness. Instead of controlling what's beyond your power, focus on self-improvement. When showing kindness, be grateful for the opportunity rather than clinging to anger. Seneca beautifully said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Wherever life places you, there's a chance to extend compassion." Choose forgiveness, not just for others, but for yourself. In giving and understanding, you build a better world for everyone. Forgiveness isn't just an action. It's the key to living freely and peacefully. We've explored 7 methods to maintain inner peace and remain unaffected by others' provocations. These principles aren't philosophical musings, but compasses guiding us toward true inner freedom. By embracing acceptance, you align with life. By releasing judgment, you shed the burden of bias. Relinquishing control, embracing imperfection, taking responsibility for emotions, and practicing non-reactivity. All these steps lead to genuine self-mastery. Along this journey, finding joy and compassion becomes the greatest gift you give, not just to others, but to yourself. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of ancient wisdom's power to transform our modern lives. May these insights bring you lasting peace and freedom from emotional disturbance, no matter what challenges you face.